Shall we begin? Shall we begin? Let's begin now. Let's begin now. Let's begin now. Let's begin now.
Thank you. You know, Las Cruces, thanks for tuning in for another episode of This Week. I'm your host, Sam Stichter, and we're going to be bringing you our own version of fireworks tonight. Woohoo! You know, our nation, believe it or not, is celebrating our 244th birthday. And I'm getting a little older here, and I can remember back the 200th celebration of our nation back in 1976. I was 8 years old. I was a little kid. Well, probably about the same height I am now. I remember everybody was caught up in bicentennial fever. And, you know, the fireworks that year were probably just a little more spectacular than they normally were. And it's just a great memory from my childhood. And speaking of things that I did as a kid, you know, one thing that I can distinctly remember, and I'm sure some of you did this as well, is my friends and I would go to drive-in movies. And a bunch of us would sneak into the trunk, we'd pile in, and then after we got inside, we'd all pile out of the trunk, you know, like those old clown cars where you see all the clowns piling out, and it was just really funny, and that was our way of getting out of paying, which, don't do that, kids. But speaking of drive-in theaters, Las Cruces' own Allen Theaters is now hosting drive-in movies. They're pretty smart, though, because they just charge by the car, so they don't have to worry about all that. And, you know, folks, I'm glad that we're seeing all sorts of different forms of entertainment coming back into the community so people can get out and enjoy themselves this summer. And speaking of enjoying yourselves and entertainers, we have a great show tonight. We have a local duo that is some folk singers that are going to be singing songs from the 1960s and 70s. The two of us is here. Also, we have a very talented singer who specializes in mariachi music. Orlando Antonio Jiménez is here. So folks, you're not going to want to miss it. Stick around because this show is going to be a hot one. Woo!
Broken AC, $4,600. Water heater, $1,500. Fridge on the fritz, $1,000.
You won't pay any of that when you have home warranty coverage from the Home Service Club.
They'll repair or replace your covered home appliances and systems for around $1 a day.
HSC provides coverage of up to 47 different appliances and systems in your home.
Call the number on your screen now. Get a month free plus $75 off your first year HSC home warranty. No worries, just service.
Welcome back to This Week. You know, folks, I've been able to get around town all over the place now that things are slowly opening back up. I've been to the mall. I've been to a couple of restaurants. I've been doing that outside seating, and everybody's keeping their distance, so that's been really good. And the one thing that I really enjoyed, my wife and I were able to go to Amador Live, and you might recall a few shows back, we had a band on the show called Exclusive Soul, really great local band, and we went out to see them, and they You know, it's great to see them in action. So it's nice to see that everything's opening back up again and getting somewhat back to normal. Speaking of bands, we have a great local band with us tonight. I'd like to welcome my first guest, the two of us. We have Frank Lovato and Helene McMillian here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So you guys are you played mainly 1960s and 70s folk rock?
Correct.
Can you tell me a little bit about that and how you got into it?
Well, we're both at that era, so that was our forte back when we started playing guitar, and that's what we love. So we just continued, and when we met each other, he said, "You want to do some Beatles songs?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. Let's try that out." So we did that, and then, you know a couple Eagles songs, and oh yeah, and do you know any Rolling Stones? And it went from there.
That's great. Yeah, I heard you mention that you perform over 300 songs together.
Yeah, we have 300 in our repertoire.
Wow. And Frank, I know there's a cute story about you two were actually rivals at one point. How did you end up getting together?
When we met in the market, playing in the farmers market downtown, and when I came to town, she was already the queen of the market. And I started singing in a different spot, and she started noticing that I was affecting her tip amount.
Yeah.
You know,
that was my food money. I was going back to college.
She started coming around behind me. She used to still smoke cigarettes back then, and she'd smoke a cigarette behind me and start harmonizing, and I'd be like, "Who is that there?"
Who is that?
You know? And then she gave me a ride one time. She saw me in the street, and we ended up at her house to have some beers and just see something, because we had mentioned to each other that she used to have this card in front of her, Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, which is a Buddhist sect from Japan. And I'm part of that sect too, and we mentioned that to each other. So we had beer, Buddhism, and Beatles.
There you go, the 3 Bs.
3 Bs.
What more do you need?
And we started still going to the market and playing our separate sets, but playing our third set together, and noticed that we were making a lot more money when we were harmonizing.
You became the king of the marketplace.
we became the kings for a while.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we don't use microphones or anything when we play in the street.
We just belt it out.
You can hear us 2-3 blocks away. Because we've both been busking since we were young.
Yeah. And I kept asking them, who is the guy with the long hair that just screams? Screams all his music.
That's
and
not singing, that's screaming.
And they said, I go, he plays a great guitar, but he screams his lyrics. He said, and he doesn't remember them either. I went, no, he doesn't. So, and then he'd do the same verse 3 times and just bang it away. So I was like, oh my gosh, he's taking my tips. How is that happening? So anyway, once we got together, I kind of finessed him a little bit and taught him how you can sing a little softer. You have to scream. If you put words in front of you, read them.
So you're not only partners in music, you're partners in life.
We are.
We ended up like that.
We ended up
we
together.
fought it for a long time.
We did. We tried not to. And everybody kept saying, we know you're
we
together.
know you guys
They
are
could see it.
We
Like,
know. And we said, no, we're not.
Yeah.
We're just doing music. And they said,
After like 6
You were
months.
making your own kind of music, just didn't know it.
Well, we used to go to the concerts in the park together on Sundays and stuff like that. You know, nothing. But everybody was like, oh, we know. We're like, no, you don't know anything. So
how long have you been here in Las Cruces? Both of you, I know, are not originally from here. So how did you end up here?
I ended up here. I promised my mother years ago that I would finish my college degree. I started it in 1982 at NMSU, and I never finished it. So I came back in 2010 to get my last year in. And that's how I ended up back here in 2010. But I did live here from 82 to 93.
And you went to NMSU, correct?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I got my degree from NMSU.
And Frank?
I came here in 2011 I had escaped from Florida to Portland. I was in a bad personal situation in Florida. And my Army buddy helped me out, took me to Portland. And then he tried to put me in another weird situation, and I called my ma, who lived down here. I said, "Ma, can I come to your house?" And she said, "Oh yeah, tell your friend I'm dying and come down here." You know, she's always said, "You can always use me as an excuse."
She's not dying. She's fine.
She's great. She's 87.
87,
Oh,
and she's
and
still going strong.
Still going.
Yeah.
So I came down here to help her out and stuff, and then ended up reinventing myself and getting back. I had gotten away from music for a while.
Well, we're glad you're back to music. And speaking of which, for those people in the audience who want to get a hold of you, I know you do weddings. What else do you do?
We've done weddings, we've done funerals, we've done birthday, we do private parties. Those are the most fun, the private parties. We also do some of the wineries
On South 28.
in town.
Okay.
Sombre Antigua, Rio Grande, those wineries.
And how can they get a hold of you? If,
We have a Facebook page. It's called The Two of Us.
The Two of Us. Okay.
And it's a capital T on the, capital T on two, and then of, and then capital US. And it'll say music group, and it'll show our picture. So
Yeah, I was able to find you real easy.
were you good? Okay, yeah.
Alrighty, well, we are running out of time here, but when we come back after the break, folks, we're going to have the Two of Us back on, and they're going to be singing some songs for us. You're not going to want to miss it. Stay right there.
Attention Medicare customers with diabetes. Now you can stop the painful pricking of your fingers with a continuous glucose monitor. And they're covered by Medicare if you qualify. Call right now for free information.
Welcome back to This Week. You know, Las Cruces, we have a special treat coming up. We have the king and queen of the Las Cruces Farmers Market. We have Frank Lovato and Helene McMillian. They're the Two of Us. Take it away, guys.
Please come to Boston in the springtime. I'm living with some friends and they've got lots of room. You could sell your paintings on the sidewalk near a cafe where I hope to be working very soon. Please come to Boston. She said no, boy, but won't you come home to me? And she said, rambling boy, why don't you settle down? Boston ain't your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. I'm the #1 fan of the man from Tennessee. Please come to Denver where the snow flies. We'll move up so high in the mountains that we just can't be found. I'll shout I love you echoes down the canyon, and we'll lie awake at night till they come back around. Please come to Denver. She said gonna stop. But of all the things I've lost and found, and all that I ain't got, I still need to cling to somebody I can sing to. Please come to LA to live forever. The California life alone is just too hard to build. I live in a house that looks out over the ocean, and there's some stars that fell from the sky living up on the hill. Please come to LA. She just said no. Boy, but won't you come home to me? And she said, rambling boy, why don't you settle down? LA can't be your kind of town. There ain't no gold, and there ain't nobody like me. I'm the #1 fan of the man from Tennessee. I'm the #1 fan of that man from This next song is a song by John Prine, who is a Chicago songwriter. He was a mailman turned songwriter. And we lost him a couple months ago, so this is our tribute to John Prine. 1, 2, 3. Person
master of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can't hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go.
That was amazing, Frank and Helene. Again, the two of us, we love those songs from the 1960s and 70s, that folk music. I always love hearing that type of music. And also, I told you, speaking of music, we have some great guests tonight. We have another musical guest. We have Orlando Antonio Jiménez, a local mariachi singer, and he's going to be here right after the break, so stay tuned.
Attention Medicare customers with diabetes. Now you can stop the painful pricking of your fingers with a continuous glucose monitor, and they're covered by Medicare if you qualify. Call right now for free information.
Welcome back to This Week. You know, Las Cruces, I promised you a show full of local musicians from here in the Las Cruces area, and that's what we're delivering. I hope you enjoyed those musical numbers from the two of us, and I know Scotty here, he's a big fan of music. In fact, Scotty, I know what your favorite type of music is, rock and roll, right? So we have another musician here with us as my next guest, and he's a local mariachi, and I'm going to bring him onto the show right now. Welcome to the show. Let's see if I can get your three names right. Orlando Antonio Jiménez.
You did a pretty good job here.
Welcome to the show, Orlando.
And you know what? Now I'm his godfather. You know, we talked about that because like you said his name is Scott. You know, like Scott Tissue. So now his full name is Scott T. Shue.
Scott T. Shue.
Scott T. Shue. That's his name. So now I'm your godfather.
All right, there you go. That's awesome. So I know we talked about how right now with everything with the COVID-19 and the coronavirus that your life has kind of been a little different than what you used to do. Can you tell me a little bit of how things have changed for you?
You know, that not just for me. I'm here to actually represent all of mariachi-dom, as it is, you know, here and all performers, really. Right. I mean, it has just been pretty difficult. I got to tell you, I mean, we're keeping our distance. We're keeping our distance from people. But at first, when they first came out in March, that's the beginning of our wedding season. That's the beginning of, you know, for even I'm a pianist at church. Yeah. You know, we lose a lot of jobs that way. So a lot of people do this. Luckily, I'm on disability. You know, everybody that knows me knows that I'm on disability. Right. I have several autoimmune disorders. And so I do get a check every month, thank God. But there's people that do this for a living that are mariachis and vocalists and church musicians for a living. Or they supplement, you know, a part-time job that they have that they may have lost. It's been pretty difficult because, yeah, I mean, I was telling you earlier that I had a friend that their mother passed away. And I'm not going to say the names, the real names, but, you know, they were only allowing 10 people in the church at the time. That's and they said, Mijo, you remember that my mom said that you needed to sing for her. And I said, okay. I said, but remember, you need to count me as one of the 10. Right. Okay, no problem. And then they call me back and say, well, Tia Teresa wants to come. So they have to make the decision between Tia Teresa and the musician. Right. So there was a lot of funerals that went without music.
And sadly, no one should have to make that choice.
Right. You know, weddings that are being postponed, a lot of them because of the music issue, because they can't host as many people and they want to wait maybe till next year. Right. But either way, because right after Valentine's Day, it gets really, really slow. And then end of March, early April starts to pick up a little bit more. January is completely dead for mariachis, but and musicians in general. Right. So it's been pretty difficult. Yeah.
So speaking of mariachi, I know you're involved with the international conference. Can you tell me?
Yeah, I am the artistic director for the Las Cruces International Mariachi Conference. I've been having several conversations with our executive director, he's been on a couple of shows here as well, Robert Palacios. Right. And it's the new normal, as they say. I hate those words now, but we have to figure out how the mariachi conference is going to exist in COVID-19.
In the new normal.
In the new normal, yeah. And so we just don't, we have some ideas. It's not till November, ours, but even if, let's say that COVID were to disappear as quickly as it got here, we still don't feel that it would be responsible to bring that many children from Arizona and Texas, which is our that's where we mainly get kids from, into an area and make it a hot spot. So we're going to try to figure out a new way to do this, and we've been talking about it. So stay tuned, Las Cruces. You're going to hear about how we're going to do this.
Yeah. And I know a couple other things that you've been doing is you've been very helpful in some of the communities here in the New Mexico area. I know one thing that you mentioned to me is that you were playing for seniors and some of the nursing homes and some of the communities.
Yes, actually, another person that used to play mariachi and still dabbles every now and then, his name's Marcus Arroyo, over at the Good Samaritan Village. He called me and goes, "Hey, can you do me a favor with that little box that you carry? It's a powered speaker. Mm-hmm. Can you come and do this and serenade the seniors, because they're getting a little restless, because they're basically not even encouraged to leave their rooms. Right. They take their food to their rooms." And so they came out onto their balconies and out onto their little lanais.
That must have been very special.
Oh my goodness! It's like for me to hold it together, it was really difficult, but it was really beautiful. And so then the Solstice Senior Living called me and asked me to do it as well. So. And
I know you've also been working with the colonias. Can you tell us about
I am actually. People that know me know that it's like they say, you're at one end of the county and then you wind up being up in Oregon.
You're a very busy man. You're a very busy man.
For being disabled, well, I just have to keep myself busy. Otherwise, I think about that too much. So I sit on the Colonias Infrastructure Board for the state, and that's at the pleasure of the Speaker of the House. Right. 10 years ago, we developed the Colonias, and we developed the Colonias Fund, and these residents of the outlying colonias, we have to come to town. I live in La Mesa, that's a colonia. Mesquite is a colonia. Vado is a colonia. Garfield is a colonia. Wow. Hatch is a colonia. All of those people that don't
I'll be honest, I didn't even realize that myself. So.
Yeah. Other than Las Cruces and Mesilla, everything else is a colonia that I just mentioned. That's out in the Pecan Valley and out in the Hatch Valley.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and so we have to come to town. That we have no choice but to leave our house, because we're not going to buy food for a month.
Right.
Because we'll buy food for a week because that's what we can afford.
Exactly.
And so, then the next week's check comes in, or the next week's money comes in, and then we come back to town. So we've had to get really creative with that. A lot of our seniors are very scared because they're the vulnerable population. So
that makes sense.
They call me, mijo, come and tell me what we're gonna do. How do we not leave the house? I said, it's not that you can't leave the house, senora. You just have to wear your mask. This is the little mask that you have to wear. Put it on.
Be safe.
Be safe. And if you see your comadre at the store, no la abraces. Don't hug her because you want to. And I'm a big hugger myself, and I've just refrained from that, and it hurts. But our seniors are the ones that are being most affected out in the colonias.
And I know you mentioned to me that you also teach, and of course, so that's been
right. We had the Las Cruces Mariachi Conservatory.
Right.
We had the Mariachi Conservatory also with Robert Palacios. He's the director of it. Right. We had already stopped kind of for some reason. There was just a little break, but now we can't even use that facility at all because we can't come together and we can't teach, especially singing. Singing. The reason we have this in front of us, and I wanted to make a big spectacle of this, even though it looks like I'm visiting you in prison. But it's like pick up the phone. No, but I'm glad that we have this in between us because the spittle when we sing, that's why we can't have choirs.
It's there for a reason.
Well, people say, why can't we have choirs in church? Why can't we have choirs in? Well, because they don't understand that when you're standing behind somebody and it comes out. So it's teaching. It's very difficult right now.
So. But I know you said you played weddings, you played funerals. Tell us a little bit about your musical background.
Okay, so this year, this is a new normal, as they say. This is my 30th anniversary as a vocalist. 1990 was the year that I started singing. And I sing opera, mariachi, jazz. I sing anything, Broadway, whatever it is that you'll throw at me, Christian music, I'll sing it. And so, I'm celebrating that by going to the nursing homes now and stuff like that, yeah.
So what different types of instruments do you play?
I play clarinet, not very well anymore. That's how I started, was on clarinet. I can still pick it up and get my embouchure back. I play piano as well, a little bit of flute.
And of course you're a singer as well.
Right, and the pipes.
Right. So I know you're going to be singing for us tonight. So
right, yeah, I'm going to be doing 2 different songs, 2 maybe 3, depending on how much time we have. But I'm doing definitely El Aguacero, which is a song from long ago, and Lola Beltran made that pretty famous.
Beautiful song.
Yeah, and then I'm going to be doing for our frontline workers, which I respect very much, The Impossible Dream.
All right, and I know you mentioned to me that just like us, you have a Facebook page and you have a Facebook show.
Yes, guys, my Facebook page is Orlando-Antonio Carrillo-Jiménez. I'm there. If you put in Orlando-Antonio, you're going to wind up finding me right from that. But yeah, but that's where you can go every Friday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. I am online Facebook concert free of charge, just to get my juice, to keep my performance going.
So hopefully you'll like what you see tonight, and you'll tune in.
Definitely, and I am available right now for serenades, and they're social. I call them socially distant serenades, and I do take my little thingy with me, and I just kind of stay away from the people, and I sing from about 10 feet away, but these pipes are a little bit. They can handle it.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on the show tonight, Orlando.
All right.
And we'll be right back after these messages with Orlando singing some of those songs. Stay tuned. Welcome back. As promised, Las Cruces, we have Orlando Antonio Jiménez in the house. Orlando, take it away.
Relampaguea, el cielo está encapotado, vaqueros para el corral, arrear todo el ganado. La noche se viene encima, procuren pronto llegar. Mañana en la madrugada comenzamos a labrar. Ay, 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 ay. Bendito sea el cielo, llorando te quiero muchísimo más, más y más. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Esta noche mi tejado tendrá un olorcito a barro. Ay, la lluvia me irá a arrullar. Las primeras gotas fueron las de un fuerte chaparrón. Les caer en mi sombrero, alegrar mi corazón. Ay, la, 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 mi corazón. Ay, la, la, la. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
I'd like to dedicate this song. We talked a little bit about the pandemic and how it's affecting certain people. We didn't really talk too much about our frontline workers, our nurses, our doctors, our EMT, our police, and all of the people that are out there on the front lines. Those are our heroes right now during this time, and I'd like to dedicate this song to them. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are so weak, to reach that unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for that heavenly cause. And I know if my lonely be true to that glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm till I'm laid to my rest. My rest. And the world will be better for this than one man scorned and covered with scars, still strong with his last ounce of courage, to reach that unreachable star, to reach that unreachable Thank you so much. Once again to our frontline workers, God bless you.
Orlando, that was amazing. How about giving us one more song?
Ahí viene mi queridísima Lola Beltrán. Dicen que por las noches nomás se le iba en puro llorar. Dicen que no dormía, nomás se le iba en puro tomar. Juran que el mismo cielo se estremecía al oír su llanto. Cómo sufrió por ella, que hasta en su muerte la fue llamando. Allí, 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 cantaba, ja, 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 ja. Reía. Allí, ay, 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 lloraba de pasión mortal. Gracias a todos, a Chris y a todos aquí. Les quiero dar las gracias a todo el público que también está aquí con nosotros. Gracias. Que una paloma triste, muy de mañana, le va a cantar a la casita sola con sus puertitas de par en par. Cuentan que esta paloma no es otra cosa más que su alma, que todavía la espera a que regrese la desdichada. Cucurrucucú, paloma, las piedras jamás, paloma, que van a saber de amores. Cucurrucucú, cucurrucucú, cucurrucucú. Paloma, ya no le llores.
Well, folks, we had a great show tonight. I think we created lots of fireworks of our own. Excellent musical guest in Frank and Helene from The Two of Us. And then we also had Armando Antonio Jiménez, our mariachi singer, doing a great job here in the studio. You know, folks, summer is just flying away, and I hope you're taking some time to enjoy your families and get outside in this beautiful weather here in Las Cruces. But remember to be safe. This is Sam Stichter saying, make this week your best week. We'll see you soon.